What's good, YouTube? Dmgaming here, guys. In today's video, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the patch update that's coming with the DLC, as well as go over a couple of new slides and images that were released later last night. Let's go. All right, guys, so I'm here on the official Dragon Ball game Twitter page or whatever, and they made this post here yesterday or sometime last night. There were other scans that came out for the game, but what I want to do, I'm going to take a look at the other scans, but what I want to talk about is this one really quick. So let's make that a little bit bigger for us. Bring me down here. I want to be down here. So anyway, this is, it looks like the same format from the Dragon Ball website, but whenever I go to that website, that does not, this information here doesn't come up. So I don't know why. This is from the DLC section, the free update section. See, there's nothing there, and there's nothing here as well. That's new anyway. It is stuff there, but so I don't know where this comes from. I don't know if they just haven't updated it yet, or if this is kind of like a patch of some sorts that they're going to update it later this week or something to that effect. But anyway, it is just saying that they are going to be updating that page. But what this information is saying, particularly here, is saying that it's going to come out. Of course, we know April 28th. But what's interesting, it says that basically if you have the season pass, you get early access to episode 1. And some people had been asking me about that. It was like, DM, how are we getting early access? Does it mean we're getting it before the 28th? Not really. So we know that episode 1, I'll be straight up. It's a sale tactic. It's a tactic used to sell the season pass, because you have episode 1 and episode 2. Remember a while back I told y'all they could have technically did both of those together at the same time, but they didn't. They split it up. Not only that, but in order to buy season or episode 1, you have to buy the season pass. Otherwise, you have to wait until season or episode 2 comes out. And once episode 2 comes out, then you'll be able to purchase the two together for one price. So essentially what they're doing is 2 episodes that they should have just kept them together. They're splitting them up. And then they're marketing it as, if you buy the season pass, you get to play episode 1 early on April 28th. And so it's just a sales gimmick, guys. It doesn't mean you're going to get to play this before the 28th. That's not what that's saying. It's basically saying these 2 were originally together. They split them up. Instead of releasing them at the same time, they're releasing them separately. But if you don't have the season pass, in order to play episode 1, you're going to have to wait until episode 2 comes out and buy those 2 together and play those 2 together. So that's basically what that's saying. So, and it stinks. I won't lie. That's kind of messed up, but whatever. It's business, man. That's how business works. So, going back here, I'm going to go to this because this is kind of like the same site that they had earlier. And just read what it says here. Starting April 28th, owners of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Season Pass will be able to play a new Power Awakens Part 1. And see, they kind of say that same language again. Season Pass owners. Otherwise, you have to wait till episode 2 comes out. And like I said, that's how it's originally supposed to be with both of them together. But like I said, whatever. And not release this early, but later. And I think they're doing that just because they know that the game was over fast, and I don't think they want to wait till possibly, I think it'll probably be summer, late summer, early fall before the next DLC comes. And instead of waiting that long, they want to kind of put something out now. But anyway, in the first piece of additional content, players will be able to unlock Super Saiyan God Vegeta and Super Saiyan God Goku transformations. Oh, damn, I told you it's transformations. Guys, I never disagreed that Super Saiyan God was a transformation. That's obvious. But I also get what you're saying. You're saying it's not a separate character. It's just in addition to the Goku that's already in the game. And that's, like I said, that is still up for debate. It doesn't matter to me either way. All I'm asking, only thing I say when I say that is because how are we, like, they're not telling us, and it's not being shown, how are we able to play through the main story as Super Saiyan God Goku and Super Saiyan God Vegeta with their new gi, which we know their new gi is not like their clothing changes when they transform. We've seen them in base form with these new gis on. So that's why I question, is there a separate character? Because the time machine doesn't work that way unless they change it in the update where the time machine does, but then it can be counterproductive to what they've already done with the time machine. But I have to digress. Anyway, reading on. To use throughout the main story. Okay, this is how I know this isn't time machine related, guys, because the time machine isn't available until you finish the main story. It even tells you that in the game. The time machine is not available. Even in here, it tells you that, I think it's actually in this sentence right here, it tells you after completing the main story, the time machine becomes available. So we know that when they're referring to main story, they're talking about the actual story, not anything relating to the time machine. So interesting. How are we going to be able to do that? You see what I'm saying? But if that's the case, then if we've already completed the main story, we would have to start a new game. But remember what I told y'all, they're trying to get some replayability in here. And they're also marketing this to people who haven't bought the game. So kill two birds with one stone, allow us to, we just go through and make a brand new story where we could play through Super Saiyan God, Vegeta, and Goku. Or they could just crap shoot us and, you know what I'm saying, do something with the time machine, because technically you're going back in time, so you're still completing the main story. But it says to use throughout the main story. So I don't know, guys. We'll see. That's the only thing. Okay, and it says, as Beerus makes his appearance, Vegeta and Goku will fight alongside to defeat him in this boss battle episode. Now, it says alongside, but, it depends. Like in training, you're probably by yourself. And I don't know, in the episode, well, really the episode, you should be able to fight them separately. Like, I think that you'll still have the choice to fight just with Goku or just with Vegeta, because we've seen scans with Goku fighting Beerus by himself. They throw Vegeta in there to let you know that, hey, Vegeta can go Super Saiyan God too, and you can fight with him as well. Set at level 250. Why did they put that? Guys, this doesn't rule out a level cap increase. What this is saying is that no matter if it's your very first time playing this game, if you go to Beerus, he's going to be at level 250. Okay. And when they're talking about here, as Beerus makes his appearance, Vegeta and Goku will fight alongside. They're not talking about fighting alongside him in Whis' training. They're talking about when you go fight Beerus outside of training, because we know in Whis' training, Beerus is level 100. Outside of his training, he's level 250. That's the strong Beerus. But like I said, he's set at level 250. So that could mean that he's stagnant at level 250. I don't think that's the case. Only way that's the case is if there's no level cap increase, which would lead me to believe that why would they even allow us to reach level 250 anyway? It would have made more sense to only allow us to reach level 100. That way when the DLC comes out, everybody still has to level up and you're playing it longer. But a lot of people, including myself, I'm going to be 250 by that time, are going to be 250 or already level 250. And so that doesn't create sort of the same challenge. You're going to see from the pictures and what we talked about yesterday, where you had a level 100 Goku fighting level 250 Beerus. Anyway, all right, especially since players won't be able to use the full range of their items to defeat him. So I know that this pertains to in-game items or in-battle items. I'm wondering if this also applies to like items outside, like when you do like the ability boost type items. If that does, then that could change the perspective as to what the sacred water is. Anyway, Beerus is so strong. My clear rate for this battle is 1 out of 10, says Hara Ryosuke. And he's the producer of the game, guys. I know people are going to say, well, he's the producer. He didn't make it. He's a blah, blah. But guys, he's been playing this game longer than we have. It's a pretty good chance. He knows every skill. He knows every technique. And it doesn't mean that he's going to be able to execute it. But when the producer is playing the game, normally you would think, okay, he's probably legit. This is probably a pretty tough fight. But at the same time, it's kind of like they're selling this. But they can't sell it. It can't be false advertising. So there has to be some truth in it that the Beerus fight is tough. What I would like to hear is, how did y'all go about making Beerus tough? Like, I think that would be better advertising. I already know that they increased his health to over 250 million, y'all. That is mind-boggling, because even our characters, max at 250, aren't even close to 100 million. Beerus's health is over 250 million. Anyway, A New Power Awakens Part 1. DLC will be available only through the season pass on April 28th, or to be purchased along with A New Power Awakens Part 2 releasing later this year. That's what I was telling y'all earlier. They were originally meant to be released together, but they're marketing it as, hey, get the season pass, you can play episode 1 early. No, it's not early. Anyway, so here's some of the HD scans that we saw. Some of these you've seen, some of them you haven't. Now, what's interesting is in this fight, Goku has his new gi on, but you're going to notice in a couple of screens that kanji isn't present, and that's what people were saying, oh, it's separate characters, but that's not necessarily true. This one right here, see, that kanji is not on the back of his gi. And this is one of the ones that I was telling y'all about. See, Goku's level 100, Beerus is level 250. You see the enormous amount of health, but you see the damage that he does. And it's going to be another screenshot with the Beerus at level 100, and it's going to take off about 4.9 times less damage than this right here. But all of that is predicated upon Goku being level 100. Now, we know that Beerus didn't one-shot him because this attack only did 615,000 damage, and Goku has over 40... he has over 4 million health. Is that 4 million? 4,420,004. Yeah, so we know he didn't one-shot him. But it is interesting to see why he didn't one-shot him. Like, some people can say, oh, well, Beerus isn't that strong. It could just be that Super Saiyan God is pretty freaking powerful. And I think what they're going to do with Super Saiyan God is not only give you a attack boost, but also give you a damage reduction modifier as well, to where you don't take as much damage. So I think that'll be interesting as well if they do go that route. But I wonder if they do, would they put that in there? And then you see Goku and Vegeta teaming up against Beerus. Beerus-sama. See one of Beerus's attacks where the ki blast out and stuff like that. That's its finger shot thing. You don't want to get hit by that. I think that's one of his more powerful attacks, and we know the other one is. And this is the sub quest where Goku and Vegeta are going to fight each other. And you notice, like I said, they're in their base form. They have the new gi on, guys. So at the end of the day, Super Saiyan God is a transformation regardless. But we don't know if these two characters are going to be real, because like I said, how do they fight against... We've been through all that. Anyway, Beerus with his Spear of Destruction, and that looks awesome. Now, one thing that I don't understand about like angles like this is when they put angles like this, it leads you to believe that you can control Beerus. But we know that's not the case. We can't control Beerus, but you know, I was always wondering, like, why do they use that angle? I guess because you can't see it when it's used, so they use the angle to show you what it looks like. I don't know. This is another sub quest with Vegeta and Beerus. Whenever Vegeta has to get Beerus some dinner. And what I didn't notice until I saw the HD scan was the Oracle fish right here floating in front of Beerus. That was really cool. This is the opposite scan of the one we saw earlier. This is the same attack. Notice Goku doesn't have the kanji, but I think that's just for developmental purposes. But anyway, Beerus level 100, 43 million health. Still towers over a same level Goku with what, 12 million health? No. Goku has, okay, so yeah, that was his max health. His max around 12 million, but it's still at the same level, has multiple times more health and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And then of course it's back to the beginning. Now there is one on Twitter. There's another one on, I'm gonna just go to the post that I shared the other day on Twitter, because there's one here. You have Whis and Beerus. Man, I imagine that's probably like a cutscene of some sorts. Maybe like the introduction. You have Super Saiyan God Goku going Surge mode, dude. That looks so cool. And we know that's Surge mode because his meter is maxed. And of course, look at the aura, and that's that Surge mode animation. And you notice he's wearing that real gi, and he's fighting a level 100 Beerus. This move, this is interesting because here you have Super Saiyan God Goku, but look, he doesn't have the kanji on his gi. Okay, and he's fighting Whis. And I know this is Whis because this is one of Whis' attacks. Beerus' projectiles are purple. This is what I'm thinking. Here's what I speculate. If these are up to date, like final scans, it could be possible, guys, that, and some of y'all have alluded to this, that this Goku, no, that's not right. I was finna say that we would get the Goku Gi with the kanji after we completed Whis' training, but that's possible too, because you can repeat Whis' training. Whis' training can be repeated. So yeah, that is possible that we could obtain super, well, no, because, no, that's not right. Because what I was going to say was, after we complete Whis' training, we get the Goku kanji, but he's Super Saiyan God right here, so he would technically have to already have that kanji on the back of his gi. So I don't know what's going on with that, but the kanji will be there. I don't know why it's not there in this screen and in the other ones where Beerus is attacking Goku. But it, you know, it is what it is. But that's real interesting that it's not there. I don't know why. It just could be a developmental thing or whatever. So I'm not going to think too much into it, because we've seen V-Jump scans where Goku's there with the Cell Saga gi on and he's only level 1. So take that all in with a grain of salt. But anyway, and then that's just, like I said, that scan from earlier, just showing you everything that's going on with the DLC. All that says is the release date for that. This says the same thing that this screen right here says at the bottom. This is the same thing as this. Only thing, they've updated this information, which they haven't done here yet. Why? I don't know. They put the image there, and then these two are still the same to say that they're or to be determined. So, guys, I don't know, just showing you the new images, kind of going through them a little bit. They still haven't said anything about the card game, but I kind of do expect them to say something this week. It wouldn't be mindful to release it without saying something. And then as far as the release date go for the update, for those of y'all who made it to the end of the video, sorry, y'all. I do believe that the update will come maybe a day or so before the DLC comes, because that's the way that they do a lot of their games. I think Fighters does that. They do an update to the game before the DLC drops. Also, Xenoverse does it. Bandai does that with Xenoverse. They'll do an update. The free update comes first, and then the paid DLC comes after that. So, because technically the only thing the update is bringing is like the online game and some other fixes and stuff like that too. Still don't know if they're going to fix the aura charge and stuff like that. It's going to be very interesting to see. But anyway, so stay tuned for more information, guys. Like I said, I have the Japan version, so I will have some gameplay early for y'all, especially if that update drop. Man, if that update can come like this weekend, dude, man, that'll be awesome, because then I can get some card game footage for y'all and don't have to like pile it all in with the Super Saiyan God stuff. So subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so y'all don't miss that upload. Guys, that's all I got for right now. Until next time, thanks for watching. Peace.